Oh, I just blew out. I yell at you guys every time you do that.
See, you don't know how difficult it is.
I yell at you every time.
Yep.
I'm like, I set the audio levels, and then you yell, and I just yelled, and I heard myself peak. I'm sorry, Internet.
Yeah, you think trailer reactions are easy, don't you, Zach?
I've already peaked too. It's fine.
Oh.
Yeah. It's just down.
Haven't we all?
Okay, we are here to watch Marvel's Avengers A-Day official trailer. We were just doing a show, so we didn't get to see this. We were on Coloc 1991, our big RPG show. That's why it looked like this. I don't dress like this normally.
Oh, you're not cosplaying as Nick
at
Fury?
all?
You
No,
look great.
Definitely not. This is my show outfit. But Brandon here, Brandon Winfrey,
Yeah.
you have a little bit of a connection to games in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to
yeah.
talk about that?
Yeah, I think so. I worked at Insomniac, and so and I left from there in primary production of Spider-Man, but I did some light work on Spider-Man when I was a writer there.
My favorite game of last year.
You're welcome.
So good.
You're welcome. It was all
So
me.
good.
I 100% just did it all
Thank you.
myself.
You realize that's the only reason we asked you to work here. When you were like, "Oh, I worked at Insomniac," I was like, "You're hired."
And it's like-
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man,
Yes.
you're hired.
yeah, it was really cool to see like all that come together in the early stages. It was
Well,
interesting.
I'm excited to see your take on this. I'm excited to know my take on this and your take. What do you
Yeah.
know about this?
Other than that,
anything?
this is like one of the most hyped up and anticipated games of next year. I think people are just excited to have a new Avengers
They've
game.
shown nothing.
Yeah.
I
It's just
was
been
seriously
the
doing-
logo for
I was
like
doing
a year.
show during this conference, so I know nothing, but they showed nothing before this, just a freaking logo.
Yeah.
And it's being done by the people who did Tomb Raider, and I love
Yeah.
the Tomb Raider games. And Square Enix. If you mix Tomb Raider with some of the Square Enix combat system, that sounds cool.
And I think like
I think yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and they're all gonna have spiky hair.
I'm
And
really
just-
actually. That's the first thing when Malika and I were talking about. I was like, I hope to God they don't bring Final Fantasy style to this.
No.
It doesn't belong in Avengers.
Iron Man takes off his helmet and just the spikes just flow off.
And then for some reason, the next time you shoot him, he's wearing leather pants. And you're like, why? How did this happen?
Do you guys think that because of where we've sort of come with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, do you think that there's a lot of pressure on this game to sort of adapt that feeling of what the Marvel Universe did for people?
I mean, he said it right before we started, and I agree. I can't imagine what somebody's going to do to make this meet people's expectations.
Yeah.
When you're doing something like Spider-Man, like you said, Spider-Man felt so good, so fluid. It felt amazing. And you're like, you got a whole studio working on one character's move set and making it feel great. How the fuck do you do the Avengers and make it feel good?
Yeah, I just think when you say the word Avengers, people's expectations just go everywhere, right? Because there's so many. So it'll be interesting to see like what they focus on for it. I'm excited. They're a great dev.
We're going to do this. Hopefully we don't have to stop halfway through and wait for it to load because I realize it didn't
Better
load
play
the
all
whole
the way, you
Come
son of
on,
a bitch.
Come on, YouTube. Let's do this. All right, I'm going to do it. We're going to watch this thing. Let's go.
Okay, good sign.
You know that old saying, never meet your heroes?
Oh, sick.
Well, I did.
Oh, okay.
And it was awesome. The Avengers were everything I imagined.
Hello, San Francisco!
Of course.
Thor, Tony, check it out. At once. Try to keep up.
Okay. All right.
That looked like gameplay.
Oh.
Yo, if we get to fly, hell yeah.
Oh, yes. Do it. Do it.
I
want to see the chest.
Oh, they're saving it. They're saving it. I get it.
Let's make this quick. Secure the bridge.
Combat.
Oh,
Oh, sick.
You set him up. Foul, knock him down.
Thor, what's your status?
There are humans trapped. Lots of small, angry men with guns.
Oh.
Is that a joke? Did Thor make a joke? Cat, they got pulsar tanks.
Oh, damn. Yes.
Oh.
Crossbones.
Oh.
Tony, Thor, the cables!
Whoa.
Cap, what's going on over there?
What the hell?
Start the Chimera. What's your status? You should head back.
No, stay on task. There are still civilians on this bridge.
shit.
Reactor.
Damn it, they played us.
What? Oh.
heroes.
Others call them murderers.
Do the Avengers pose a danger to society?
dang.
That was the question, Bruce. That was the question.
Well, we all lost something that day.
Wait.
But that's not how this story ends.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, is that Abomination?
Oh, look at the spacesuit. Oh, shit.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Oh,
Did
come
anybody
on.
catch a glimpse?
What?
Catch a glimpse
Pre-order
of
for
what?
beta access.
What that hump was?
No.
Wait, what are you talking about?
It could have been like a special hump. I don't know. Someone can freeze frame this, right? And see like oh.
Yo, can
you
we
wanna
get
know about the hump?
enhance,
You wanna
please?
know the hump?
Enhance
Yeah,
the
look, that
hump.
could be.
It's just.
No, look. There's okay.
Oh, okay,
Now
there's
let's
a
look
little
with what that
bit,
is.
there's a little bit.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go back. We're gonna pause.
It's Galactus.
Frame by frame it, bro.
Obviously.
Frame by frame it. Come on, man. What do you?
It looks purplish to me, right?
It looks a little purplish, kinda.
That's so hard to
Apocalypse?
say.
No,
A
they're
big
not-
apocalypse.
I don't know. Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
A big apocalypse.
What, you said people were kind of mad about this? That was freaking awesome.
I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was rad.
I think they're probably disappointed because we couldn't get a clear sense of like how it all
Sure.
intertwines.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that was, I mean, it looks great. Like,
Oh my God! You could tell the second it was flipping to what you were playing.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that first Spider-Man trailer where it felt like you were seamlessly like cutscene. Then when you see that swing, you're like, wait, that's
Yeah.
gameplay. Oh
Yeah.
fuck!
and what they're getting good at is the cinematic angles to make you feel like you're traveling with these characters. Yeah.
I think for me, someone who's like I'm not like deep into gaming, but if I'm going to play an Avengers game, the things that I definitely expect to be able to fly, to be able to use all the weapons that Iron Man has access to, Mjolnir, like special moves with
Yeah.
the hammer, the shield, all that sort of stuff. So if that's a part of it, and that's kind of what it seems like, then
And honestly,
damn.
if Cap dies at the beginning and you end up only having the 4 Avengers
You
that
can
are left,
focus more.
Yeah.
I like that. I think that's a smart move, and maybe you have DLC of other characters as the game goes. I think that's smart. Now, here's a question for you guys. Do
Sure.
you think that this game plays out like you play the same missions, but you can play it as different characters from different perspectives? Because that bridge scene didn't look like co-op. It looked like you're one player
from like
and you're
person
playing
to
different
person.
perspectives.
Yeah, that
or
could
do you
be
think they
fun.
just jump to different characters and it's very cinematic that way?
I'm interested because the only reason it's a little bit meta, but they said beta access. So this, I'd assume, has a multiplayer aspect of co-op.
Where did it say
I
beta?
heard it's going to be on PS4 first on beta in
Pre-order
January.
for beta access. So you
So
think it's
there must be a multiplayer
you think
component.
it is multiplayer? Oh, shit.
Which obviously I also think if you have an Avengers game that's not co-op, people would be upset.
Yes and
But I would
no.
understand that if the jumping I think would work amazing and great. That's what I would.
I can't imagine a game that looks like this with this kind of like
That is co-op?
level of
I
interactivity
know.
with co-op. I just can't imagine.
Yeah,
it. If it actually is, then and it actually includes that level of like grabbing things, kicking them around, and moving them, then fuck yeah.
That's that's wow. That would be incredible. Or there could just be a multiplayer mode that I don't know
seeing
about
here.
yet. Yeah.
True. We know very little. Like I said, this is the first thing they've dropped. First view of it. I'm pumped.
Do you think we'll get other Avengers? Because like no Hawkeye, and not that it's following the movies in any way, shape, or form, but there's like no other characters like Ant-Man or the Wasp. Like, do you think we're just gonna stick to these 5, or at some point 4, in not including Captain America? Or do you think we'll see more characters?
There's a couple things I find really interesting about this. One, it's set in San Francisco, and it looks like they don't change that landscape throughout this trailer.
Yeah.
It feels like it has a lot to, there's more shots of the bridge in the background. This very clearly, this shot right here is definitely like, about San Francisco still and everything that happened and Cap's memorial there. You said something earlier about maybe they share a Marvel universe.
Yeah, I have no idea. It'd
Like
be
the
interesting.
games?
I wonder
Not
if they
setting
want to
this
keep
in-
everything separate or not. Like I just it would be. Look, Marvel is always trying to like push. They try to push boundaries with films, so I wonder if they're just trying to bring that to their games, and especially after the success of Spider-Man, with like the great job they did, I think maybe they're more willing to share them. But I have no idea. Like I
mean, it would be unheard of if somehow Spider-Man has a cameo in this game. And the only reason I'm even like, I find it interesting, this is set in San Francisco, and the Spider-Man game's in New York, you know, and it's like, it's like a clear differentiation.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's like, does that mean you're purposely trying to keep these separate while keeping them in the same universe?
Right.
Because there is an Avenger Tower in Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then but then you're thinking like, well, when does this happen? Because there's an Avengers Day, there's the A-Day where shit goes down. So like, so those possibilities are really interesting, and I think Marvel has the confidence in their games now because Spider-Man was great, and also Crystal Dynamics is an amazing studio. So I think they probably have full confidence in this.
I feel like the Tomb Raider games are some of the most solid games that have come out in the last 10 years.
And very underrated, too.
Yeah, even if you can't, like, if you're not hyped about them or whatever, and by the third one you're kind of like, I don't know. You pick one of those up, and you put your hands on the controls, and you start moving her around, you're like, this feels good. It feels good. And I think that's one thing Spider-Man did really well, and Insomniac did really well, and it makes sense because they came off of
Sunset Overdrive.
And, like, movement felt so good.
It was so fluid.
So fluid. And I feel like the Tomb Raider games, when it comes to the way I feel when I'm moving Laurel around, like there's a weight to it. It feels like she exists within a space.
Yes.
And that's one of my favorite things about the Tomb Raider games. And to capture that, if you're the Hulk and you're smashing down on shit and moving things, like to feel that sense of weight in the space would be awesome.
Yeah. This is a hard game to make.
Yeah.
To match expectations is going to be
for sure
really tough, but it seems like they're pulling it off. So
yes and no. I'm so pumped for Ultimate Alliance 3. You have no idea.
That is fair.
And it's like one of just getting to play as Avengers. It fills this little nerd boy's heart. So I'm gonna play Ultimate Alliance 3 the day it drops until I finish it. We're gonna do a nonstop stream when it happens. I guarantee when this comes out, even if there's problems, I'm gonna be like, fuck yeah, I'm an Avenger, baby.
Let's go.
I think the hardest thing for it is living up to Spider-Man, because Spider-Man had those expectations and it blew him out of the water.
Well, I think that's what's so hard when it comes to these like superhero games. If there's one game, whether it's from Marvel or DC, that sort of like sets the standard, every other studio, I'm sure, feels pressure to like meet that or exceed that. And I think the fans
like the
expect that as well. Exactly. That like, okay, great. If Spider-Man was such an incredible game, then we expect Avengers to be that good or better because it has a bigger world, more characters, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. But I think that's super hard.
And I also think if people are disappointed, it could legit be Spider-Man. We've seen different Spider-Mans so much. We've seen like 3 of them in the films where we only know Tony Stark in the films as
like,
you know, Robert Downey Jr. So I think when you first see these guys, it's a little weird, almost.
100%.
I dig it though.
I mean, the second this trailer started, I was like, okay, I need to get RDJ, Chris Evans, Scarlet. I need to get them out of my head because the trailer starts. I'm like, it doesn't feel like the Avengers. But it's like you have to think that like these characters are much bigger than that.
Right. As a comic book fan, I don't see that, but I know most people coming to this game are going to be people who've watched the movies.
Exactly.
It's just the way it is. You can't get around it.
But if the mechanics and the gameplay looks like it's going to be as fun as this trailer, then like
flying around is fun.
That first shot where you're like,
this is so sick. Are you kidding me?
This looks like frickin' footage of like gameplay.
Like this is what I want to do in an Avengers game. If I get to do that, then like what can you complain about?
Exactly.
You know,
Hulk. I'm just so excited to see the Hulk back in a game.
I know, because there was that Hulk game.
Ultimate Destruction.
I hope that there's like some sort of like combination that you can hit as he's flying down, where he like slowly transforms and the camera like goes. Like I want to see that. That would be really cool.
I also think Black Widow is probably going to feel more unique from a gameplay perspective than Cap would. So I'm happy about it, especially differentiating him from her from Thor.
Yeah. I mean, this all looks great. I don't know.
So good.
I don't know. I'm not really sure what people are expecting, so I'm not really understanding the reaction to this on Twitter.
They might have just wanted a pure gameplay demo.
That would make sense.
But generally, you're going to
I personally like this more, just like the first Spider-Man trailer.
Yeah.
It gets me more pumped. Makes me excited.
Tony,
I love.
the
I mean,
cable.
because story ultimately is what's going to hold me.
Yeah.
Good gameplay is one part, but story is going to be what holds,
For
holds
sure.
me and makes
Over
me want
there.
to play the whole game.
Yeah, and then repeat that over and over again, essentially. Yeah, I think this looks cool, man. I'm excited about it,
It's
yeah.
great. I'm pumped, y'all. Tell us what you think in the comments below. We'd love to hear if you're excited, what you wanted to see out of the trailer. Was there something you were hoping to see that you didn't? I just realized that was Taskmaster that she was fighting as she was falling there. As I'm sitting here talking, I'm like, wait, is that Taskmaster?
Oh yeah.
It's totally Taskmaster. This is fucking. I'm so pumped. I'm so fucking. I'm gonna pause it.
You went from a 9.5 to a 10.
How do you go? How do you do your frame by frame thing, Adam?
It's a comma and period.
Comma and period. I'm gonna pull this frame up.
Frame.
I'm gonna frame it. I'm almost certain because the coloring inside his mask right there. That's Taskmaster. That's gotta be.
Has anyone told you you're a nerd, Zach?
I am a huge nerd. I was like, that's Taskmaster.
Wait till you see our Dark Phoenix review.
Oh god, I'm so pumped now. This is great. I love it. Do you have any idea how many hours I wasted Marvel Heroes Online? The guy who made the original Diablo, did Marvel Heroes.
That's right.
I played so many hours of that. Hector and I used to play that together way back in the day, and I had this whole bit. I was like, I'm gonna play 7 She-Hulks at once. I'm just gonna have this army of She-Hulks out there. We had our whole server of She-Hulks. You know what? Whatever.
Those were the days.
Those were the days,
Rip
man.
to Marvel Online.
Those were the days. Marvel Heroes no more. But thank you guys so much. Seriously, we will be back doing some more of these as the E3 goes on. I'm going to be hitting the show floor tomorrow.
Same.
I'm actually going by Nintendo to get my hands on Ultimate Alliance 3.
Ooh, nice.
I'm excited.
Reaction from that.
Yeah. All right. Thank you again so much. You got anything else you want to add?
I'm excited. I can't wait to play this.
All right.
And that's it.
All right. Bye-bye.